we've come live early this morning because at 11 o'clock there is going to be a 2-minute silence. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Emma's on there.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good. You can all hear us and see us. That's great. And at 11 o'clock, we're going to do 2-minute silence, and that should start from now. Okay, good morning. Thank you everyone for joining in that 2-minute silence. That was kind of cool actually, to be able to spend the 2-minute silence with you all. So good morning, and let's get ourselves going today. Wednesday all day apparently, and here we are, 6 of the best, number 2. And Daniel and I are presenting this together today. So good morning, Daniel.
Good morning. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, Daniel. I'm over here at the Passion for Hair Academy, and Daniel is over there at the Passion for Hair offices. It's actually easier to present this way than it is, particularly some of the presentations that we want to do for you today. It's easier this way than it is if we were both together and we'd have to sit side by side, you know, 2 heads trying to get in. There you go, 2 heads trying to get in the screen. So that's where we are. Just want to reiterate that we've got a full house this morning, I believe. So welcome. If you are in the webinar with us, you've got the live chat there. If you want to ask questions, there is a question box. Feel free. If you put your question in the question box, then it's easier for us to see it because it will come up blue. Once you've asked a question, please do go back to the chat box. Feel free, everybody, to chat away there. We also are live streaming, so we are live in the Passion for Hair Stylist Education and Hotline. We're live there as well. So on that live stream, if you want, again, by all means, chat away with each other. If you ask questions on there, Daniel and I can't see them. So maybe, I don't know if because Declan is here with us, maybe Declan could monitor that, or if somebody could and then relay those onto us here, that would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, everybody. And it's being recorded, so you will be able to catch it afterwards on the Facebook group or you'll be able to catch it on the P4H YouTube channel. Gosh, it's a lot. But there, we got to the end of that. So number 2, 6 of the best. Welcome. Here's the program overview, just so that we all know what we are doing and what's going on. So number 1, we had last Friday, your path of personal greatness. And I had a thought this morning, and it was really when driving to work, I was listening to the radio, and the radio presenter was talking about, at school, how his teachers always used to say, could do better. And instantly it reminded me of, I don't know about you, but I also had, I've just realised, hold on, my electric's not on for the computer. Sorry, good job I spotted that. You made me think about my old school days. I always had that on my report, could do better. How many of you had could do better on your school report? Just give us a little, a why will do. Just give us a little why there. Yeah, absolutely. There's actually a book called Could Do Better. I've got a copy of it at home. It's all famous, successful people that were told at school they could do better. Anyway, it led me on to thinking about, that's kind of very much a school thing to do. But I started thinking about it in work, and I thought, yeah, many of us could do better at work. Because, our natural human behavior is to err on the side of, sometimes we can be a little bit, we procrastinate, let's put it that way. And so our path of personal greatness really talked about the opportunity for us personally, and only we can do it. So do it, people. I do believe that we are right now, we are on a cusp of real change in the hairdressing industry, and we don't have to wait for that change. We can be the change. We can make the change for ourselves or by ourselves. So if you didn't catch that one, you can, of course, go and get it on our YouTube channel. Number 2, that's the one we're doing today. Fun facts to improve your knowledge. So hopefully it's going to be fun and interesting. Daniel and I are doing this together. It's certainly been fun and interesting putting it together for you. So then on Friday, they'll be exploring campaigns. That's with Daniel. He's already put that program together. I promise you, it's good. And even if you kind of think, well, I don't get involved in the campaigns, everyone in the team is involved in the delivery of a campaign, because a campaign is only as good as the way it is executed and carried out. And that includes every single hairdresser, every apprentice, every receptionist. So that's what we're going to be focusing on Friday. Number 4, extraordinary team culture. There's only so much you can achieve alone. The more we all work together, the more we do and achieve. Number 5, profit is everyone's responsibility. Number 6, business elegance. And hopefully just after that, we'll be getting ourselves ready to get back to the salons. So when last Friday, when we were together, I showed this this little diagram here. And what we said was this. We said that really what we do, whilst it's very complex, you can break it down very simply. It's about our skill, so how well we physically do things, how good our hairdressing is. We can always improve it. We talked about that. We talked about the importance of emotional intelligence, particularly in our industry where we work so much with people. But here's where we are today. The other part of it is the profound knowledge. And this needs, all the time we need to be keeping up with new developments, new products, new techniques, but also reminding ourselves, because even in putting this together, Daniel and I, we've done our research and our homework. We've had to do a lot of reading ourselves, and there are quite a lot of things that you can't, they fall by the wayside. We're going to start this morning And we're going to be looking at this here, essential. So we're going to start with profound knowledge and services in the salon. And this is actually an article that I wrote. This information, initially, I pulled it together for it's chapter 15 of my book, right? So chapter 15 of the book. And then I put it together in this format here. It's been published a couple of times, most recently by Concept Hair Magazine. Okay, so this is the latest edition of Concept Hair Magazine. Declan's going to put a link up of where you can get a digital copy of this, the essential tests, and then I'll talk about it in a second. He's going to put a link up of where you can go and get that, and where you can also go and get the sheet that it talks about in that article. And actually, I can quickly show you which sheet it is, because it's also in my book, and it's an upgraded version of that sheet there. Okay, so the essential tests. Before we're in a very interesting period of hairdressing history, if you like, in that I think we'll look back in the future and we'll say, yeah, that was the period of time where we went into Instagram hair of dreams, where people were black one minute and wanted to be silver the next. And that's the extreme, of course, that we all know. But there are other versions of that. So when we talk about people's Instagram hair of dreams, we're talking about where people want these very complex services, and they want it now. Now, coupled with that, we have got a situation where we have here in particularly in the UK, but also Ireland have it quite bad. I believe it's growing in Canada, it's growing in the United States, and also in Australia. This situation where clients are easily able to sue hairdressers, and when somebody tries to sue you, you are then they make allegations against you, and then it's up to you to prove whether or not those allegations are true, and whether or not you were negligent or not working with due care. Now, traditionally, you know, let's say, I don't know, 15 years ago, we didn't keep such good records. Even today, some hairdressers don't keep good records, so they don't make a note of their formulas. And it's not that often that people make records of the process as they go along, but we really ought to be doing that. Now, I want to remind everybody at this point that we've talked a lot through lockdown one. We talked about it. If any of you attended any of our webinars or education whilst between July the 4th and November the 5th, you know, we've talked about this a lot. We're talking about it today. The industry is moving into a more professional recognition, you know, from a consumer and a you know, a whole perspective. So, of course, the government have now given us our own category. We are personal services. We're right up there with dentists and opticians. There's still a lot of work to do. But, you know, that transition has already begun. We've probably been propelled forward years in terms of our industry coming under the scrutiny, if you like, of the government. And I think that this could be a good thing long term. But it does mean that, and I'll go back to what I said before, and I've talked to Daniel about this a lot, and my own, you know, my own team. We don't have to wait for someone to tell us that we're more professional. All we've got to do is be more professional. Just do it. So right now, I would like to see everybody really working towards their digital consultations. So how from the inception of somebody saying, this is what I want, when it's complex services we're talking about here, start that engagement with that client straight away. And some of that is to do with these essential tests. So for an example, and on the top there, you can see the most obvious one, skin tests, right? So we have to make sure that it's our responsibility to make sure that any service that we are planning for that client is safe, right? So currently where we are,
it's probably the biggest opportunity I think we've had as an industry to make a large shift in how we operate and how we think in terms of change, and for it to be acceptable. So it's such a good opportunity to, as an individual, but certainly also as a salon, to make that leap into the next category of a next level of professionalism. I think it just lends itself to that, considering where we are and what's happening around us in other industries and in society as a whole. So a fantastic opportunity in all of the madness and craziness that we're currently experiencing. We can take this leap, and we can do a large leap, because it's going to be accepted. It's going to be so much easier for us and for our clients.
Yeah. I think the reason why we've put there that you can download this, I'm not going to go through each one of these tests with everybody. That in itself would be 2 hours, right? So that's why I've put it there. I mean, if you've got an MVQ in hairdressing, you should know this stuff. Unfortunately, very often, but it's changing, and it must change. And for us to be more professional, and if you want to push yourself to be more professional, and appeal to those clients that are looking for that, because there are lots of them out there, then you'll become an expert at these things. Now you can see there the tests. They are my fingers. Yes, there you are. Right, the tests and how to do them. Do make this your own development in the salon. So making sure that everybody knows how to do these tests accurately and what they're telling you, and clients will thank you for it. So we've got strand testing, so taking some strands of hair and seeing, is what you are planning to do, is it possible, number one, and two, is the hair able to take that service. Now, I promise you, when Feathers won this court case, and it did go all the way to court, and we won it, a judge said that we were professional and we had not done the things that she alleged, and we hadn't. But one of the pieces of evidence was a strand test, and it was very, very important. So taking strands of hair, and being able to do that also puts a client's mind at rest and helps them understand that they can't go from black to white straight away. They're in the middle there. They're going to have a period of warmth. Let's call it warmth. Incompatibility tests, which are often not done, and literally take seconds, right? Porosity tests, which actually do take a little bit of time. The best way to do a porosity test, that's one there, is to take strands of hair and put them into water and see where the hair sits. And so it would be a really good, I think, a good piece of research and experiment to do in the salon for everybody to have a look at the porosity of each other's hair. And then the last one is the stretch or the pull test, sometimes called the elasticity test. And you know what? I see that done poorly so often, where people don't really understand what they're doing and what they're looking at. So I do want to bring everyone's attention to the hot tip, right? The hot tip. And that is, you must keep written records. Could you imagine, I want to go back to medical now, right? Could you imagine the optician or the dentist not making records? It would be unprofessional, right? So I guess the fun fact here, if we can call it fun, the fun fact here is that professional means a minimum standard which we will not fall below. You don't have to compare yourself to the lowest common denominator. And I'm talking here about, the Sweaty Betty salon up the road. You don't have to do that. You can elevate yourself to be the most professional salon stroke hairstylist in your town. And if you do that, you will appeal to the clients that are looking for that. And people are looking for that, right? So it's a great opportunity for us. That's why we're starting today with the essential tests. So digital consultations, if you want to know more about those, go to the Passion for Hair Stylist Hotline, Stylist Hotline and Education Forum. And ask for some people's experience of that. There are lots of stylists here who have already made massive inroads into digital consultations with clients. And it's kind of a bit funny at first to ask a client, especially if it's a new client, you never met them before, hello, can we have a FaceTime? But I promise you, it's the client loves it. It's better for the stylist. So, that's something that you might want to make a little note there to say, I'm going to say it's somebody, go out there, or if you're a stylist that has made inroads in that, go in there and go into the P4H Stylist Hotline and Education page and put your experience in there and how it helped you. Okay. And yes, Maria, it saves so much time. It's actually part of the government recommendations that consultations are done before to save time. And yeah, I love that, Carly. It builds the relationship to level three relationships. I love that. So that's really good. And I coined a new thing this morning, right? It's called Sumu. I'll show you. Yeah, literally this morning, Daniel and I said to Daniel, oh, look, I've got a new concept, Sumu. It's called, right, study. I'm typing it here for those that are watching this actually, I should do it on here. That's why I've got this here. Where's my pen gone? I used the black one, right? So Sumo, study. Right, that's what we were talking about. Oh, you can't really see it, can you? The shine of the. What about if
just bring it forward? Yeah.
What about if I do that? Yeah. Okay. Study. Understand. Right. When we're learning, we are seeking to understand. Study. Understand. Gosh, I've forgotten now, Daniel, what the U was. Should have written it down. I wrote it down in the thing, but anyway, this one is use it. So
study, understand, master it, and use it.
Oh yes, sorry. Master it. I wrote it down. So, and then use it, right? Study it, understand it, master it, and use it. That's what you have to do. And of course, that's what will help you to be more successful. So let me just put that back on there. So where are we now? We are going to the presentation, please. Declan, if we may, because we're going to move on to the next area. We want to move at pace. Daniel and I decided we could have made this a 2-day course, but we just picked things that, we thought that people would find interesting. The next thing we're going to talk about is census, MC2, vegan, 93% natural, no PPD, no ammonia, no resorcinol hair color. It's actually a revolution in the industry. And we chose to do this because MC2 was the first hair color to come out and proclaim vegan, right? We were the first. And then others jumped on the bandwagon, and many of them jumped on the bandwagon because they asked the question, are we vegan? And they went, yes, we are vegan. Now, under what kind of scenario or measurement did they consider themselves vegan? So somebody type and give us some answers. Let's get some interaction going here today.
And as we're waiting for some answers there, just to bring you back, for those of you who has been part of Census for a long period of time, prior to the tube we see on the screen today, of course, Census were the first company to bring out a PPD and ammonia-free permanent hair color. So they transition into a vegan permanent formulation has truly been revolutionary, and I can't help but think, going back 6 or 7 years, that we probably didn't maximize the PPD and ammonia-free version that came out in the first place. It was probably not enough importance put behind it from us at Passion, but also from salons, to really look after the clients out there that are looking for a more pure, clean formulation, put whatever tagline you want on that. So to then come out approximately 4 years ago, I think it was, to have this newer, better improved version to be vegan as well is truly revolutionary, and it's very impressive. So we have some not tested on animals, absolutely. Yes, no animal products used, etc. That is normally what most companies use. And of course, the challenge with first of all, I know it's something I get quite frustrated with, and so does Debbie, when we talk about the no animal testing on products. Well, quite frankly, no company in Europe is testing on animals. It's just not allowed. It's
illegal. It's illegal.
That's right. So, and I do know that there's some there is irritation, and rightly so, with companies that might have a product in other countries, such as China, where they have to test on animals, etc. But when it comes to products in market, for us,
in fact, can we just go back to that a minute, Daniel, because that is an interesting fact. Sometimes you might see, because we've just told you it's illegal in Europe to test on animals. So no products in the cosmetic industry, in cosmetics, okay? Not medicines, cosmetics. So any cosmetic sold here in Europe has not been tested on animals. Now, sometimes you'll see some people will say, oh, don't use certain companies, I can't say it out loud, but don't use certain companies because they test on animals. And you might think, well, hang on a minute. No, because they sell their product here, so it can't be. In China, it's the law that cosmetics must be tested on animals. Okay, so it's the complete opposite of us. And so where you've got companies that sell in Europe and in China, what I want you to know is this: they have two formulas, one that is tested on animals and one that isn't. And a good question is, which came first? Just saying. Anyway, sorry, Daniel, carry on.
No, thank you. So I sort of lost track there a bit. Well, going back to the formulation of Census, so that is really, when we talk about the vegan one, which is very easy to do as a hashtag or as your sort of main headliner, if you like, with the product. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I think it's a great thing. I think it's important to understand, just what Debbie said, the part that we're not using artificial ingredients, making it not tested on animals. Is 93% natural formulation, which is arguably even more impressive than the vegan part of it, if purely and simply because we should take that vegan almost like a non-negotiable. It should be a certainty that we don't test on animals, because quite frankly it's illegal. And then 93% in formulation just proves that we are using far more healthy and clean ingredients to create a hair color.
So if you look at this tube, you can see that we've got the image of the plant ingredients there, This part here is the water emollient base, okay? And then down there is the 7% of artificial ingredient, which is the part which we need it to be able to colour hair, all right? But what we have is a situation where lots of companies say, oh, our product's vegan, but it's vegan. They're saying it's vegan because it's 100% synthetic. So what we must remember about MC2, not just that it's vegan, that it is also 93% natural. And why is that important? Well, because many people are concerned about products that they use, even when they're used topically, okay, topically, right? Because who can tell me, when you topically put something on your skin, how long does it take to penetrate through your skin and into your system? Yeah, okay. Well, so we've got 20, it's 26 seconds, Matt, and I think you know that because I saw you put a post. Maybe you did one. It's the 1 and the 6 near each other, but it's 20. It's approximately 26, 30 seconds. Yeah. So it takes now. So when you think we paint hair color onto the scalp, it penetrates into into our system. That's what it does. And if you don't believe that things penetrate through skin, then you should ask yourself the question, why do we have cigarette patches, and why do we have the birth control patch, etc., etc.? And it's because you put them on and they go into the system. So some people don't want synthetics in their system. We have right now this debate going on about a new vaccine. I don't want to go there, but that's because we do understand the effect of synthetics in our system. Not everybody, some people don't care, but and that's okay, right? Everybody sees it through the prism of their own beliefs, so that's okay. But these are the facts about this particular product. Now, something else really interesting that you may have learned and you might have forgotten about, but there's something you can't just put any plant in there, okay? There's something special about this complex of natural ingredients inside, and that is that these so when you have natural ingredients there, they go under the label of bio. They are biomimetic. The technology is called biomimetic, okay? Biomimetic. Shall I write that down? Oops. Now my computer's come unplugged, and what happens is biomimetic. And what that basically means is they mimic the hair structure. That's what they do. So those plants there are not colouring the hair. The hair colour part of the product is the synthetic part, okay? We don't use natural pigments. I wish we could. Believe it or not, Julia has done a lot of research on natural pigments, but the problem is they're not able to get the natural pigments to give the result which to the eye is satisfying enough for the client or for the hairdresser. So we're using artificial pigments. That's part of what's in that 7%, okay? But so what are these ingredients doing here? Well, they are mimicking the hair and the hair condition, texture, the complex ingredients of the hair, and they're doing that to support the hair structure. And in fact, when you colour hair with Sensus MC2, particularly if you use on the mid-lengths and ends nectar, the hair is in better structural condition afterwards than it is before, okay? So that's the biomimetic technology in the natural ingredients. So we hope that's one of the fun facts that people either maybe hadn't learned or had forgotten, because that's what happens.
And let's just also add, Debbie, before you move on, number one, I think this visual that we have on the screen is really, really powerful for you to be able to tell the story for your clients, because whereas the slogan and the headline of vegan or natural, or, you know, pick whatever hot topic you want that you can do with a tube of color, there are not many brands out there with a 93% natural formulation that can showcase an image like this, showing that it's only 7% artificial. You can see at the bottom towards the opening, and then the water and the plant. So if you haven't utilized this particular image when you're telling your stories, I would encourage you to do that, because it's a very transparent visual of how that is. And just a fun fact for you guys that some of you might know, if you've been with us to Italy, is they actually started with MC2, the original one, and went from 100% natural, and they went backwards to see where would they land to get a, as Debbie said, a commercially friendly, that for the eye is a good enough color. So they started 100% natural and went back, and here we are today with a 93% natural formulation, and hopefully, as most of you know, it's you know, super pleasing on the eye as an end result.
Now I'm going to give you another fun fact, and it's the last one about hair color, but this applies to most hair colors, whether they are sensus or anything else. But there are surfactants in hair colors. It's part of the makeup of a hair color, as it were. And if you emulsify the hair color well and you rinse it well, there is no need to shampoo twice. Okay, there is no need to shampoo twice, because what I want you to think about is if you've had hair color on the hair and scalp for, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, whatever it might be, and then you emulsify it and then you rinse it, debris, oil, dirt is rinsed away in that first rinse. So imagine when you emulsify the hair color, that is your first shampoo. Now, if we think about the fact, and we're going to come back to this in a little while later, but when we're rinsing hair color off, the last thing we want to do is shampoo out or rinse away any unstable color molecules. We want to keep as many color molecules in there as we can. So please don't shampoo your hair color twice. Only shampoo it once. It makes more sense for your hair color service. It also makes sense for your profitability, because you're going to use half the amount of shampoo. So that's a fun fact, an interesting fact. Let's make sure that we all understand that. Now, another reason that we should emulsify the colour before we take it off, and by the way, emulsification with sensus, how long should that process take? Yep, Carly got it there. So that emulsification process should be 5 minutes. So emulsify for 5 minutes. Now, if your processing time is 35, don't wait till 35 and then emulsify. Okay, 30, emulsify for 5, complete service, 35 minutes. Rinse, 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 rinse. One shampoo. Okay, so I'm glad you like that one. I know what I share with you. I was going to share also, so this morning when we were talking about this, we said, oh, this is a really good time to talk to people about shield oil. Now, if you're watching this, it doesn't matter whether you use Sensus or not. You can buy this from us. It's the most amazing product, and it's 2-in-1. So we had 2 products. And we had 2 products, and Julia said we don't need 2. We can use technology to make this this product here do 2 things. And so it does 2 things. This shields the scalp. That's why it's called shield oil. Shields the scalp from, number 1, from staining. So you can put it, when you put it on the scalp, make sure that you bring it onto the hairline. Oh gosh, you have to go the opposite way, like a mirror. Like, so you bring it onto the hairline, as it were. Don't let it run all down the client's face. But if you apply this all over the scalp, we recommend that what you do is from the crown, it's got this tip here, and you apply it a little bit like a Terry's chocolate orange, if you like so in orange segments like this, and then you just kind of rub it so that it goes over the whole of the scalp. And what that does is it protects the scalp, protects the acid mantle, it gives a more comfortable experience. And the other thing that it does is it stops products being able to in fact, what they actually say, and I want to do it as they actually say it, it says yeah, it fights the free radicals is what it does. But also it I was looking from where I read it this morning. I loved it when I read it this morning. I was like, oh, I really like that description. When a part of the whole. Yes, here you go. It shields from the direct contact with products. And I really liked that it said that, because clients will like that. I'm going to use this shield oil today. It shields your scalp from the direct contact with products. I loved that when I read that this morning. I knew there was something there that I liked. So when we talk about professionalism, so there's a couple of fun facts about it. And one of the reasons why we put this together, this webinar, is because Daniel and I want you to be able to improve your dialogue, so that every time you can, when you're doing services, you can bring value to clients. If you're using this, you're already bringing value. The question is, does the client know that you're bringing value? You understand? So let's have a look.
A question. Have you seen a question there from Francesca?
Yeah. Should shield oil be used with bleach? I found that when I did a scalp bleach, it made the roots go very orange. Thanks, Dec. He popped the question up there. So this does not affect the performance of the product. I wonder whether, if the roots are orange, it's only because the process hasn't gone from orange to yellow. This product can't stop that process from happening. So there'll be something else, Francesca, that we should be looking at. How did we, what did we need to do to get from orange to yellow? And a few people here might want to just type what they, might think that could be. All right. So, but thank you for that question. Any other questions there? 2-in-1. What's the other thing? Well, so before, Jane. Okay. Thanks for asking the question, because I thought I'd made that clear, but clearly I hadn't. So the first thing is it stops staining. The second thing is it controls free radicals and protects the scalp from the product. Okay. So
to answer that question, the two previous products were scalp oil, which came in a small bottle, same color, and we had the barrier cream, which came in a pack of 3 bottles. So those two products have been knocked into one, which is shield oil. So I hope that helps. So the barrier cream is gone. You can now use this product. The scalp oil is gone as you know it, and you would use this product instead. So 2 products has gone into one. So it's also much more practical, of course, and
saves time.
More cost-friendly, I would say.
And as well, the other thing is many barrier creams, if you get them on the hair, of course, they stop the hair, the colour from taking. This one doesn't. And the other thing is that even if you've got a barrier cream around the hairline, so you don't get the staining on the hairline, that doesn't necessarily stop the staining on the scalp. And if people have got dry scalp, often you need something to be able to protect that. it was done on a shaved head, would that still be build up or minerals? Hold that question. We are coming to that a little later. Thank you. So, are you charging guests extra when using this? In my salons personally, Chloe, no, we used to, and then we put our prices up and we incorporated this in the service because, frankly, I sat there and had a meeting, as it were, with my managers, and we decided, like, just because the clients are, what some clients are like. No, I don't want to spend that extra bit of money. Now, our service is compromised because the client doesn't want to spend, I don't even remember how much we were charging for it. So you must make that decision for your own salon. Okay. Do you know what? In my experience, it's not about like putting your prices up and putting these kind of things in works as long as everybody knows. Now I'm applying the shield oil, and what this does is, and now the client sits there and they're happy. It could be a retail item, Andy. You are quite right, because there are other benefits to shield oil. And if anybody wants to know what they are, if you go onto the I Love Sensors website or onto P4H Pro, and you'll be able to find the fact sheets and find out a little bit more about that. So it could be a retail product. A lot of people are not interested in retailing it because they're worried that clients are going to take it and colour their own hair at home. But I have to tell you that most certainly I have known of clients who have asked to buy it for their friends who colour their hair at home. So, Daniel, did you see the question there?
I have, yeah. That's why I went on my phone to have a look.
Maybe Declan. Declan, can you answer that for us, please, for Andy? So that
yeah, that's probably quicker. Sorry, Andy. I haven't memorized these things. I normally use salon cost. Yes, please, Declan. If you can pop the salon cost on that. And just on that note, if it can be a retail item, if you remember, there was a lot of salons on the original scalp oil when it came in smaller bottles that would use to, I think at that time, most salons were using whatever upgrade, £5, £7, whatever it happened to be. And there was a lot of salons that used to apply it and then send that bottle home with the client in case they had sensitive hair, etc., and they could use it at home. So just moving on from that, yes, it could certainly be a retail item. And I think Declan will get the cost in terms of salon cost. Put it in there, and you can calculate a retail price on that.
Yeah, well, we can do. So it's £6.30 plus VAT. So if you want to know how to do how a quick and easy way to work out retail prices, retail is normally 40% gross profit. So when you look at a cost of a product, £6.30 without VAT, if you literally double it, £12.60, that would be the retail price.
And then you just round it up and make it 13.
That's it. RRP.
That's what I would do.
Okay. So so there we are. That's good.
Ooh.
Now, any other questions? There was a question I thought we would get, and we haven't, but that's okay. We will move on. Someone might come up with it later. So Andy's put it to $14.95. You go for it, Andy. So the next slide, Daniel.
Okay. So I was looking at the running order, actually, so I shouldn't be too surprised. So we wanted to cover some essential knowledge on the Simonsen family of products to help understand where I think sometimes when it comes to should we call it professional use products? I don't know, it's such an overused word, but salon exclusive products, professional, more sturdy tools. Again, much with hair color, vegan, natural, etc. It can often be an element of headlines and hashtags to make that point across. So
I think, Daniel, I think the important thing here is as a hairdresser, you're going to get clients who are saying, well, hang on a minute, in Argos, I can buy, you know, a tool for, let's call an iron. You know, I can buy an iron for £50. In fact, I was in a supermarket a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember which one it was, but it's one of these, you know, Lidl or Aldi. Someone might be able to tell me. And I happened to notice that they'd got an iron in there. It was piled up, you know, ready for Christmas. And it was like £18 for an iron. Now, we have client, it was in Aldi. Okay, other people had seen it. And am I right that it was £18? I just happened to have seen it. And I thought, gosh, you know, clients must think, well, oh, look, I'll buy that for my niece for Christmas. They're going to have the most disappointed niece on the planet. But how do we as hairdressers explain to clients the difference between what we use and the rest of the stuff that's out there?
Absolutely. And the way we're going to do that initially is to show you a series of videos. Some of these videos we have shared with you on the, I think we shared them on the Stylist Hotline, 2 or 3 of them. But if Declan, if you want to play the first video for us, please, just to kickstart this. Right, excellent. So on this particular video, we're looking at the plates and how they're testing the plates. So I want to say this first, that the series of videos we're going to share with you is taken by Klaus, one of the 3 founders of Simonsen, and they are in the process of making these videos a little bit more, should I call them, social media friendly. They're quite raw at this moment in time, as you can see. That's Klaus in a factory inspecting the tools, and he's taken them with his own phone, and he shares those kind of videos with you know, distributors around the world, like myself and Debbie. And I also
can I just say, Daniel, so that's what Klaus did in the first place, you know, was so the distributors could see the quality of the product. And we said, look, this is such great information. We need this for the hairdressers. It's good that we know that they're the best products. You need to be able to demonstrate that, and that's what you know. Where
so
we're going.
I think you might see some more, let's just call it viewer-friendly videos that you might be able to share with your clients moving forward. They're not here yet, so we are showing you guys these so you can have that in terms of your dialogue, etc. So what we were looking at on that video is literally how they are making sure that the quality of the plates on the irons, and they do the same kind of tests on the rods, on the styling rods, where they ensuring that the coating, and we use a Teflon coating on these plates to ensure there is no snag, that it lasts for a long time, and the exercise, if I can call it that you spotted there, it goes up to 500,000 times, where they are trying different kinds of materials on the plates to ensure that, 1, it doesn't cause any damage, and 2, it can still operate at a high quality, if you like, after so many tests. So I thought it was a really interesting one to have a look at, because of course the quality of the plate is going to play a big part in how long the iron lasts in terms of usage, and if it's going to be any snag, and how it's going to react with different kinds of temperature, products, etc. So it's a really interesting one, and let's see video number 2, please, Doug. So that's the hairdryer test. Here's what they do on every batch, on every product. So in this particular video, you saw the Boss hairdryer. What they do in manufacturing is they take that particular tool. So we got the Boss hairdryer. They disconnect the security, the safety feature of the tool, and they plug it in and they run it for 4 months. So can you imagine plugging it in, putting it in that particular machine, and for 4 months it sits on. And what they monitor during this period of time is airflow, how the motor inside is working, how the ions is affected over a period of time, to ensure that the longevity of the tool is there. So when we talk about, you know, sustainability and longevity from in terms of products, we often talk about how the ingredients, where they're sourced from, what kind of ingredients they are, etc. When we talk about sustainability in tools, one of the important parts to remember is how long can you use that tool. And certainly as a professional behind the chair, you guys will use a hairdryer so much more than one of your clients purchasing it. But again, I think it's a tremendous insight and transparency in terms of how important the quality and the longevity of the Simonsen tools are. So Declan, if you want to run the third video for us, please. Excellent, thank you. So this video showcases the cord. So let me at this point tell you this. When we discuss longevity and the durability of electrical tools, we're really looking at three things. We're looking at the cord to tool. So it doesn't matter if it's a hairdryer or an iron. We're looking at the board. So that will be the, let's call it the computer part of the iron, if you like. And then we're looking at things like plates that we discussed in the beginning. On this particular video, what they do is they do a pulling test on the cord to ensure that with rigorous work, so if you're in a hair salon, so using that example, how you are pulling it, twisting it, using it on your clients, and God forbid, when you're twisting it up and stuffing it in a drawer when you're done at the end of the day. And what is different on the cords with Simonsen with many other tools, and certainly something from Aldi for £18, is number one, it's a much thicker cord. And the reason it's thicker because the copper wiring inside is thicker, so it's more durable. Two, the rubber coating on here is a more durable material than those kind of I don't know what the name is. You know, those really shiny, sort of crackly plastic thing that sort of tends to break on, especially on cheaper sort of electrical stuff.
They age, don't they? They age over time, and then they go.
Yeah, they age over time, and they get those horrible sort of marks on it. So it gets sort of V-shaped as you bend it, that sort of stuff. So what you will find with these cords, and for those guys who are already using them, have probably noticed that the cord tends to come out to its normal sort of fit, sitting, whatever you want to call that. So that's the cord test. Declan, run the next video, please. I just thank you, Declan. I just missed that at the end. Did it say 300,000 something on that one?
Wasn't it 30?
Was it 30,000? I couldn't quite see. It was too quick. So that's the open and close test. And again, the open and close test, which happens on any tool. So even these will go through the similar kind of action and motion. And I think the key point in all of these tests is the length of time. So 4 months for a hairdryer, but they do 4 months on the open and close test. They do for 300,000 times. They do all of these things to such an extreme length, just to ensure that the quality, once a batch is leaving the warehouse, is there. And that's really the key, I think, when we talk about Simonsen. It's not the fact that they are tested. Any tool, any electrical tool, regardless of price and where it's sold, whether it's directly online or through a salon, will go through safety features. Of course they will. but they won't go through the rigorous testing in terms of the amount of times they tested and for the period of time to ensure that quality is sustainable. Declan, when you roll the next video, please. Thank you. And that's another plate test. So that plate test is in terms of the movement of the plates. So you will often hear things, I think the correct terminology when we discuss these things is floating plate. So you have that movement on the plate when you're using it. And again, it's done in a robotic way there, and it is again in the 300,000 sort of category of number of times that we literally I don't even know what to call it, the sort of poking hits. And it's asking, is it Chinese? It's from Malaysia, actually. I don't even know if that's part of China or used to be. No, it's not. So it's not Chinese. It's from Malaysia, and that's where the factory is. So that's the plate test. And I think, is that the last video, Declan? If you just want to help me on.
Is the brush one there or not?
I thought we had a brush one. No, it's the last one. Okay, that's the last one. So again, they give us a good insight in terms of how they take the quality testing of Simonsen really serious, and it's really thorough compared to other tools, etc. And I know Debbie, you had we're going to relate that to the warranty that we have on these tools.
Yeah. So the consumer warranty on these on tools, it's a 5-year guarantee, and actually that's something. It's on our project list. Something we want to help consumers understand more, so your clients understand more. And 2 years on the hair dryers. It's slightly different with hair dryers than it is with tools, yeah, so and of course that is longer than most of the guarantees that are out there, and we're able to do that because Simonsen have a 1% return rate. 1% return rate. It's the lowest in the industry.
So let's put that into context. Sorry, Debbie, let me just jump in on that. So let's put the 1% in context for other what we term as professional tools. So you qualify that as you wish, but hopefully you understand when I say professional tools, I mean professionally branded tools, not necessarily where they're sold. So the average in our industry for professional tools is around 14 to 16% return rate. So that's where all tools sort of sit, and then we come in on 1%, which is truly remarkable, because majority of the Simonsen tools still to this day is, of course, sold to and used by hairdressers versus, it's not yet the name of other brands in terms of, I don't want to almost say some brands. It's not as widely used in by clients as it is by hairdressers. So nevertheless, I think that just proves the difference in terms of return rate, 1% versus 14 to 16. So
talk about the technology, some of the technology, Daniel.
So right, let's start with the hair dryers. So when we discuss hair dryers and technology,
not that one, Dick.
I got confused there. I don't need one for this, do I?
No.
There is no slide for this. So let's mention two. Let's mention infrared, which is applicable in all of the tools. So infrared technology, which uses negative ions to dry the hair quicker. And really what they do is negative ions make the water molecule much smaller, hence it dries much quicker. When we look at infrared technology, the best analogy I can give you is probably a patio heater. You know, the infrared patio heaters. if you sit under one, and depending on the distance from that, the warmer or colder you're going to be. Well, it works the same in a hairdryer. So if you have infrared heating and it sits further back in the hairdryer, then it's going to be less effective than if it sits in the front. When you look at the hairdryer, you can see the infrared facility, if you like, right at the beginning of the hairdryer. So that's the infrared technology, and we have it in the other tools as well. So what does that mean from a practical point of view? It really means that you speed up the hair drying time and you do less damage when you're looking at a topical. So for a hair dryer, it would be all the air blowing on the hair, and you just won't be as long because you dry quicker.
Yeah, because you're drying from the inside out.
With infrared, yes, sorry, inside out.
Yeah.
And then we have the tourmaline, which predominantly is going to be noticeable because you can touch and feel it on the irons. And it's the same thing with tourmaline. Tourmaline is all about creating the negative ions to make the water molecule smaller and dry the hair quicker. The quicker you can do it, the less direct heat you have on the hair, the healthier and better the hair is going to be for you, for the clients, moving forward. And I know Debbie has I think you have a beautiful little thing you want to show us about.
I do, yes, because when Daniel and I were doing, putting this presentation together, Daniel said to me, he said, I don't really understand the positive and the negative and etc. etc. So I did this explanation for Daniel this morning. Now we learned this in our college, MVQ, whatever you did. But who can tell me what is the chemical sign for water? What is water?
H2O.
Not you. I know you know.
Oh.
That's it.
This morning, yeah.
So it's H2O. Okay. Now, what that actually means is this. Water is made up of 2 parts hydrogen, and 1 part oxygen. Okay, that's what it is. Peroxide, of course, is H2O2, right? Because it's got they put in peroxide, they put more oxygen in it, right? If you know what we learn when we do color training is we learn that peroxide is just water and oxygen, right? And what they do is they put another molecule of oxygen in. That's like H2O2, right? But so 2 parts hydrogen and 2 parts oxygen. But what we have here is the hydrogen, okay, is positive, and the oxygen is negative, right, in terms of its charge, okay? So what we have with water is it's slightly more positively charged, okay? Slightly more, because there's 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So it's slightly more positively charged. Some people say that water is a net charge, but it's not. It's slightly more positive charge. Now, what the ions do is they put more charge in there, and it disrupts. Okay, it disrupts this chemical compound, and as it disrupts it, because it's water, if you disrupt water, what will it do? It will break apart. So in disrupting, using charge to disrupt this charge, and that's what ions do, it breaks the water up inside the hair, and therefore the water can disperse faster, right? And that's why some professional dryers dry faster. And as Daniel said, when you have all this technology with the hair dryer, it actually means that the hairdryer is drying the hair not only faster, but it is keeping the integrity of the hair intact, because if the dryer has to be on the hair longer, then what happens is it's drying out the outside of the hair. Now, interesting, I lent my hairdryer to somebody, and I've had to dig out an old professional old hairdryer of mine, and I've not done this deliberately, but can you see that my hair has dried this morning a little bit And that is because over a period of time, although the hairdryer might still be going, a bit like an old car, right? It's still going, but bits inside are breaking down. Hairdressers should have new hairdryers. Oh gosh, I mean, if you're working 5 days a week with a hairdryer, you should have a new hairdryer every year. Even if it keeps going and going, because parts of that technology are breaking down. I mean, they just are. So if you're drying your hair with a hairdryer at home, right, and you feel that when you dry your hair, it makes all the outsides of the hair, it's not shiny, it's dry, etc., etc. You need a better hairdryer, and most of your clients need a better hairdryer. They complain about the condition of their hair, they can't grow their hair, and often it's the hairdryer. In fact, if Milka's on here, she'll tell you. She kept complaining about her hair and da-da-da, and I said to her, how old's your hairdryer? Let's see, not now, she's got a Simonson one, but if I remember rightly, she was ever so proud. She said, I think I've had it about 12 years. I've looked after it. I was like, then it's got no new technology in it. So there's the science, the fun fact, the H2O and what the positive ions do. Okay, they literally cause a vibration on the water. Yeah, that was that. Now, here's another, Declan, if we could have that slide back, because I love this one. As soon as you tell people about heat zone technology, they get it, right? So Simonson tools use a heat zone technology. All of the tools have 3 heat zones, right? Now, where am I? 1, 2, 3, a bit like a recorder here, but 3 heat zones. Now, if you imagine that iron from Aldi, I guarantee you will only have 1 heat zone, right? Now, what that means is it'll be hot or warm there, but it'll be cold there and there, right? Because it's only got 1 heat zone. Now, many cheap irons, £50 from Argos, it's probably only got 1 heat zone. Even if they've got 2 heat zones, this is going to be hot, this is going to be hot, you're going to have a cold, cold, cold part of the tool, okay? 3 heat zones mean that the heat is even throughout the whole of the tool. So as you're using it, one, you're getting even heat throughout the hair. Secondly, you're able to get the result you need with one swipe. And one of the first things, some of you were in the room, the first time I ever used a Simonson tool, because we had Klaus and Lisbeth come over and do education for the educators. And the first time I put a bit of hair round one of these rods and then went like that, I couldn't believe how quickly it formed a really nice firm curl, and many of you can probably testify to that. And it is because of this heat zone technology. Okay, so let me show you on. I love this packaging, because on here they actually put the heat zone technology on there, right? And they show. But here's the point: when a client says, well, you know what, I can get one for £50 in Argos or whatever it is, right? That one fact on its own helps a client to understand that, yes, you can go and get one cheaper, but if she's got an iron with 1 heat zone, she's going to have to keep going over and over and over the hair to get the result that she wants. With Simonson, she won't have to do that. She'll go through the hair once. It will curl or straighten or whatever style she is desiring. She'll get that straight away with a Simonson. Can you imagine, right, if you've got long hair and you're going round the wand, right, round the wand all the way, but actually there's only heat in the middle, right? And that's why people can't, I can't get the same result as you. No, it's because you probably have not got a tool at home that has got the heat zone technology to be able to be the same heat from the root to the tip. So it's one of my favourite bits is the heat zone technology. And so while we were at it, we thought it would be a really good time to, some of you you know, over Christmas are already thinking about how you are going to increase your income. Actually, it's Singles Day today. I didn't even know there was such a thing. This might be something to get out on your social media, peeps, for Singles Day. This is the best-selling tool in Simonson currently, even outsells the hairdryers. I'm saying that, I'm not sure it does actually.
It is by far. Yeah, at this it has been for since lockdown. Yeah.
People are asking about if you're single. Singles Day was invented by the guy that owns Alibaba, and if you're single, today is the day you buy yourself something to treat yourself, Andy. Okay, so anyway, it's a new thing, but apparently it's growing. So the Nourishing Styler. This is the styler, which this one here, I've not got the boost here. But anyway, this is the styler, which someone's taken the boost out of here. This is actually our out of our demo kit. So this is the one where you put let me show you all. There's a tank on here. Here's the tank. I'm popping the tank off. There we go. You put keratin in this tank, right? Clients love this iron. And then when you turn the iron on, and I can turn it on if you like, and we can see the keratin, it smokes. You want to see the keratin? Hold on, I'll need to. Now I've said it, I feel that I need to. I've got to plug it in all the way over here. I am coming back. Right, okay, so switch the iron on. There you can see, you can choose the because you can see the green light there. So it's heating. Look how fast it heats. Right, and this is the difference, of course, as well. So it heats to it's going to heat all the way to the top. I can stop that from. Let's let it heat all the way to the top. Right, so then once the iron is at its maximum heat, it will be there in a second. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to checking this fuel in the tank. I'm then going to turn on the fuel here. Okay, and what will happen, the fuel from the tank will go through the tool and out of this top plate. Can you see those little tiny holes there? And what we should see is a steaming, right? So there it's stopped. The iron is stopped at 210 degrees, which is hot enough for anyone, in my opinion. Right, so I'm then turning on the keratin fuel, and as I then close the plates, what we should see any second, we will see, let's give it an opportunity for the fuel to come through. Come on, start smoking. We should see the keratin will start smoking out the end because there's no hair in there, you see. Because there's no hair, it won't be absorbed. It will be, come on. I actually got fuel in the tank. Yep, I can. Can you see the smoke? Can you hear it? Here it comes. I don't know that you guys can see. Okay. So, but that's the best-selling iron currently. See it smoke a bit more. And it will once the... Right. There we go. Can you see it? I don't know that you can see it on the screen. That was maybe a demo too far. because I'm not sure you can see it too well on the screen, right? And I was going to say there you can smell it, but then you can't smell it either, can you? So anyway, that's the best-selling iron. I don't know, there's probably some people on here that have got one. So we just thought we would tell everybody about that. Steam or smoke? Smoke, actually, Andy. Thank you. Yes, smoke it is. Someone's asking, what's someone asking? What price is the keratin? Okay. Yep, Daniel's put that on there. You've all got it? Yes. Okay.
I asked that as you were doing your demo.
Good. So there are some fun facts there, things that we can use to help us with dialoguing with clients about those particular tools, etc., etc. And now we're going to move on. Why smoke? Because keratin smokes as it heats. But and that's what I said. If you've got hair in there and you were going like that, it would infuse into the hair. But as it doesn't infuse into the hair, you can see it come as like a smoke, right? And by the way, just so that you all know, it it doesn't smell too good. But what do they say? Good medicine don't taste nice. So often, but you know, when you're doing when you're using it, you only really smell it if you burn it off like I just did there. So okay, that's interesting. Jane said they use them no extra charge. I know some people charge a £5 upgrade because you can turn the keratin off. Right, you can turn it off so you're not using the keratin, just use it as an ordinary iron. But one of the reasons a lot of salons don't charge for it is because it invariably ends up as a sale, if not on the day, on Singles Day or Christmas. But anyway, so that's very interesting.
And just before we move on from that, so people know, the keratin comes free in that box when a client purchases it. But of course, as they use it, they will need to replenish the keratin boost, so the fluid, which they can purchase from you guys. So that sort of retail aspect of things carries on. There's something they need to get from you guys. Anyway, but let's move on to Malibu C. And let's get some fun fact on Malibu C. And we've got a great visual here. Before I go into that, quite often, and probably rightly so, when we discuss Malibu C and we try to understand and learn the products, the first point of contact tends to be the color removal aspects and those famous products in terms of professional use products in Malibu. So CPR, DDL, and so forth. And just as a fun story, when we first came in contact with Malibu C, we were looking for a replacement for the color remover Sensus had. And I think some of you might remember SOS color remover from Sensus. It was tremendously popular product, not just amongst the Sensus salons, but even salons that didn't use Sensus loved SOS color remover. Anyway, it was discontinued for many reasons. Let's not go into that today. But we felt the need that we needed to replace that loss, if you like, of products. We went into search for a color remover, and we were put in contact, excuse me, with Malibu C. And I was so focused on my first Skype meeting, I guess, Zoom meeting, whatever it was, on color remover. But what they focused on in their presentation to me was crystal gel and mineral buildup. And I remember coming off this meeting, getting back to Debbie, talking to Debbie. All I wanted to know was color remover, but all they wanted to talk about was this thing called crystal gel and removing minerals. And I didn't quite connect with me straight away. And I'm telling you this story because I believe that many people still, although all our attempts and our constant sort of communication on Malibu C is certainly it's not all about color removal. It's all about mineral buildup. And I can't stress this enough. It's such an important aspect with the use of any other product, whether it's hair color, bleaching, shampoo, conditioners, etc., the ability to manage and remove and control the mineral buildup on hair and scalp. So if we look at this great visual that we have in front of us here, which will showcases that sort of light pink shadow, what mineral buildup does. And I know it was a couple of questions earlier. Can you get mineral buildup on really short hair? And the answer is absolutely you can, because mineral buildup does not just attach itself to the hair shaft. It will sit on the scalp. And one thing we have learned, I think, with using clean formulated product and talking hair challenges is, if you want to have long sexy hair, or your sexy hair overall, you need to start with a good looking scalp. You need to have a good healthy scalp to have good looking sexy hair. It's very difficult to have an unhealthy scalp and good hair. So I think what this particular visual is showcasing here is, it's not just about the hair shaft and what's on the hair when we do products or when we look after our hair, is what it does on the scalp. In short, and to summarize, is suffocating the scalp. It's not allowing it to get oxygen and other nutrients. So the analogy I know Debbie likes to use a lot is when you shower at home and you get that buildup on your shower, that sort of scaling.
The glass shower.
Yeah, the glass sort of gets all that sort of foggy, misty kind of look. That's essentially mineral buildup from the hard water that we have. Another good example is hot water kettle, of course. Any kettle might need descaling every so often because of the minerals in the water. Well, if it has that effect on our showers and on our kettles, it will have a very similar effect on the hair and scalp. So the ability to manage minerals is tremendous. And I know Debbie has some, so let's just bring that into someone who might have, we're going to talk some thickening later on. Let's say you have a skin or scalp challenge, psoriasis and eczema, etc., and you're going to start to use a product that's specifically going to manage that condition. It would be very advisable and a good start to start with a Malibu C treatment such as Crystal Gel or a Malibu Makeover to clean hair, skin, and scalp from any mineral buildup, and then use whatever specialist products, let's say allotherapy if you have a skin challenge or whatever it might be. Same thing if you are going to start a regimen on a hair loss product, it would make sense if you, before starting that particular product, have a detoxing treatments such as Malibu Makeover, Crystal Gel to remove the mineral buildup. Because the mineral buildup, if it's not removed, whatever specialist product you're going to use is going to have slightly less effect, purely and simply because the minerals is going to stop all of that good nutrients to either penetrate the hair or look after the skin and scalp.
Yeah, because let's understand about this mineral buildup, and let's go back to the shower door again. If you took your nail or you know, a little sharp screwdriver type thing, and you scrape that where that mineral buildup is, what comes off is like the, you know, the scale, right? Like little tiny, we call them rocks, right? Now, not only does it build up on the scalp, and I love this. We literally only just got this image this week, so it's a new one. I loved it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that is so visual and explains to people. But we must understand it also gets into the cuticle layers and can penetrate into the cortex. Now, water penetrates into the cortex. That's how hair gets soaking wet. And so mineral buildup goes all the way into the cortex of the hair. Now, if you're then trying to perm hair, highlight hair, balayage, color, whatever it is that you're trying to do, this mineral buildup gets in the way of your service. And so often when services are going wrong, when things are not going the way that they should, the clue is here. And Francesca had asked the question earlier, and I said to Francesca, she said, can the mineral buildup even affect short hair? Well, yes is the answer, because it can affect the scalp, right? So by the way, Jane said she just took a picture. All of the pictures that we're using today, which will be interesting for you to use on your social media, are available. They're already up there on the P4H Pro website. Okay, So under the resources pages for, in fact, I believe that Declan put it under a separate, its own title. Is that right, Declan? So you can go and download these images, all right? By all means, take pictures of them, Jane, but you can get better quality if you download them from the website, okay? So we understand then that this mineral buildup, you know, gets on the outside of the hair, gets on the inside of the hair, it's on the scalp, and literally crystal gel is able to get rid of this mineral buildup from the scalp, from the hair, so that you get better results with whatever it is that you're doing. I personally, I mean, once I discovered about this mineral buildup and the effect it has on hair, it became so obvious to me why people have so many problems with perms, right? So if you think about, if you've ever had a situation where you perm someone's hair and it's beautiful, right? And a week or 2 weeks later, the perm is gone. What we know is that was a semi-permanent perm. It only permed the outside of the hair, right? And then as it oxidized over a couple of weeks, it literally oxidized back to its normal pattern of wave, curl, straight, whatever it might be. Well, that's because the perm lotion didn't get in, and it was probably due to, not probably, I would, at this point in my career, I'll stand here and I will tell you it will be due to the mineral buildup. And personally, I wouldn't perm somebody's hair anymore without doing a Malibu C treatment first, so that you can make sure that the mineral buildup is gone. So I can see that Hetty's got a question there, and we'll leave Maria. Maria is actually our UK ambassador for Malibu. Of course, all of our educators are educated in it, but Maria is. So I'm going to leave Maria to answer that in the box there. So in terms of Malibu and the build-up, really very, very important. You see, it's the answer to hidden problems, so problems that we can't see, but also some we can see, right? So the perm one I've just told you about, that's a hidden problem. If you've ever had a situation where you put bleach on and the bleach starts getting very hot and even bubbling, right, that will be reactions to minerals. If you've had a situation where you colour hair and you can't understand why the colour didn't take very well, that's minerals. But here's problems that you can see. So problems you can see: hair that is very dull and lifeless. So for an example, teenage girls, as they go through their their hormonal period, do you notice sometimes their hair goes from being beautiful, like long hair like a princess, and then all of a sudden their hair's oily, smelly, dull. Of course, it affects their skin as well. That's hormone build-up. Crystal gel can deal with that. So it's a great thing to do for teenage girls. And then hidden highlights. Have you ever had a situation where you highlight a client's hair and it looks beautiful, or it could be a balayage with bleach, and that you see them 6 to 8 weeks later and the highlights have disappeared, right? We call it hidden highlights. And that is where the bleach, minerals literally discolor the bleach, right? So now what most hairdressers then do is go over and bleach it again, but you don't need to. You only need to do a crystal gel, or what we call a Malibu makeover. So at this point, I want to talk to you all about Malibu makeover. Right, a Malibu makeover is when you do a crystal gel treatment, which will solve the problems of the scalp and the hair, as we've spoken. Here's the correct way to do it. We've got something really exciting for you here. So the Malibu makeover, you shampoo first with Undo Goo shampoo. This is a sachet of Undo Goo, pH 9. This is a chelating shampoo. There is a difference between clarifying and chelating. Clarifying shampoos can only cleanse so far. Chelating can get deep into the cortex. Okay, Undo Goo is one of the only chelating shampoos out there. You may see people say, oh, Undo Goo, it's the same as this shampoo, that shampoo. It's not. And if you use this enough, you will know that this product is unique. It's not like other shampoos. Anyway, this comes in sachets, it comes in 250 ml, and it comes in litres. Okay, but you start with Undo Goo. You shampoo the hair, and what this will do is it will open the cuticle, it will swell the hair shaft, and it will start the process. Then you take the crystal gel and you mix this with 2 ounces of warm water. Here's one that I prepared earlier. Okay, you mix it with 2 ounces of warm water, and then you apply this onto your hair. And as you do, you scrub, you must scrub as you apply it and make sure that it goes in, because this product is vegan. Let me see where I can point to it off here. Right, it says there it's vegan. Okay, not only is it vegan, it's 100% natural. Okay, so I could eat this. It's 100% natural, so there's no artificial enzyme in here. So you are the enzyme. You have to do some work. So you scrub it in. The second part of the work is the heat. You must use heat. Okay, so if I do this for myself at home, and by the way, this is a professional product. This is not for clients to buy. Malibu do have sachets for clients to buy, but this is an in-salon treatment. So you put this under heat. If I was going to be doing this at home for the first time, I would leave it under heat for 45 minutes. The first time I ever did one of these for myself at home, I put a plastic cap over, and I literally sat there with the hairdryer like this for 45 minutes. The heat is an important part. Then you wash it out with Undo Goo shampoo again. And then, because you have taken out of the hair all of the minerals and build up and whatever else might be there, it's really important, people often miss this, to put back nutrients that are supposed to be there. Our hair does have some minerals which are helpful in the right amounts, and copper and zinc actually are minerals that are naturally in hair and should be there. So we finish with a miracle repair, and the hair is transformed, and that's why we call it a Malibu makeover. Now, if you want to discover this for yourself, here's what we're doing today. A special, well, not just today, we're doing it, I think, until the end of lockdown, I believe.
Yeah, so we can carry it through until we're back open again.
Yeah, until we're back open, because you've got the time to do this at home. If you want to buy a Malibu makeover, which a Malibu makeover consists of the crystal gel and the miracle repair, we are going to add to it an Undo Goo, and for £5, including VAT and postage, we will put this in the post to you, and you can do this, hairdressers, for yourself at home. You've got the time, you can take the build-up off your scalp and off your hair, and you will discover for yourself the power of Malibu Sea. Okay, so I can see people saying, oh, yes, please, yes, please. Daniel, where do they go? What do they have?
Yeah, so to purchase this, just to make it easy for everyone, on p4hpro.com, we have created it as a pop-up shop. So you go there, you don't have to go to passionforhair.com, you don't need to have a login or anything like that. You just go to p4hpro.com. Declan will activate a pop-up shop. You go on there, you order it, we get the order, we post it to you, and you will receive it. So and I encourage you all to do that, to understand the difference it makes in terms of feel and look on the hair. And I just want to, well, actually, let's do this question first, Debbie, shall we?
Yeah. Can you use this on extensions? Shannon, absolutely. If you are an extension stylist, Malibu should be in your toolbox. Malibu can transform hair extensions, make them last longer, stay shinier, keep the color fresh. keep them from knotting, etc., etc. I'm not a extension specialist, but absolutely, that's what you should do. And in fact, your extension clients should be taking home with them hard water sachets, and they should be keeping that up at home, because once you've done a crystal gel, you can keep it up so you don't have to spend the time in the salon. Your color clients can do it at home with Color Prepare. Your swimming clients can keep it up with Swimmers Wellness, etc., etc. Let me just say, this is not part of the script today, but we do classes here at the Passion for Hair Academy. We do Malibu classes every month, okay? Every single month. Every stylist, you can transform your hairdressing. Do the class. Maria takes the classes here for us at the Academy. Absolutely amazing. For those of you that have done her classes, give us a yes there, how good her classes are. You can transform your hairdressing.
So Debbie, just before you move on from Malibu, I just want to highlight one more thing. The professional service products such as Malibu Makeover Crystal Gel are tremendous from a service point of view in your salon. As Debbie said, many of your chemical services will just improve because the canvas that you are applying them on is cleaner and better, if you like. But one of the strengths for Malibu C, the sachets, what we call the home remedies, and this is not a Malibu webinar, but I need to highlight this, that you either seek out Maria in terms of a class in the Academy or one of the webinars, or indeed both, because the strength of the remedies that your client can use at home, so hard water, swimmers, scalp, etc., there's a variation of crystal gel in some form to keep it simple. But because they work with any hair care line, they're really effective. So if you take Euphora, Senses, which are tremendous product lines, but none of them are fighting mineral buildup. So the home remedies for Malibu C suits any line. And if you would have not Senses or Euphora, hopefully you have at least one of them. But if you don't, the strength of Malibu is that they suit any brand. They suit any brand from a wet line, so shampoo, styling, and conditioners, etc., and any color brand when we talk about the service one. And I think there's it was such an important part for us to understand that element ourselves, and I can't highlight that enough. From a service point of view, tremendous, and from a retail opportunity, there is plenty of them. So I encourage you to explore those.
Okay, so lastly with Malibu, and I know many of you have seen this before, but no conversation about Malibu is complete until we have done the penanganate, test. Okay, so what I've got here is 2 glasses of water that I got earlier. I'm going to use this little compound here. It's penanganate. Penanganate is used for, you put it in a fish tank to increase the oxygenation of the water in the fish tank to keep the fish healthy. I only want 1 tiny drop. Come on. Come on. Oh, here it comes. Right. Okay, so 1 drop of penanganate in the glass. Now, one of the reasons why, so penanganate is one of the most highly oxidative compounds known to man, but one of the reasons why I really like to use penanganate is because of its color. It's easy for us to see very easily how quickly this works, okay? So here we have now got water, H2O, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, but we have put penanganate in there. We've made it highly oxidative. So imagine that instead of penanganate, that could be bleach. Yesterday, I said to Daniel, oh, I think I'm going to do an experiment, and I might put bleach in there as well, and peroxide, so bleach, peroxide, and put the penanganate in for the color. And he was like, no, Debbie, please don't do that. You might blow the place up. So I haven't done it. Anyway, now what we're led to believe, let's imagine then that this is bleach or colour, because they're all oxidative. And what we're led to believe is that when we're finished with the process, we then rinse with water. So I'm taking my second glass of water and I'm putting that in there. But of course, it doesn't stop the oxidation because the water itself is H2O. Now, there are some shampoos that slow oxidization. One of them actually is wait a minute. Let me just have a quick look. One of them, anyway, wait a minute. Let's add the shampoo. Right, we add shampoo. We can see that it did go lighter. Can you see? But it hasn't stopped the oxidization, okay? Now, if this was a bleach client, the oxidation is still carrying on. The client walks out the door. The oxidation is still carrying on the client's scalp, etc., etc. Here is crystal gel. There you go. Deox does the same. The oxidization is instantly stopped, okay? Which means that your service is it's safer and it's also more guaranteed in that the oxidization is finished. If you've ever had a client who you bleached her hair, you toned her hair, and then she phoned you the next day and she said, my toner's come out, and I've seen it on these forums where hairdressers say, she's lying, she must have shampooed it. No. It is possible for toner to oxidize out of hair. So if you're doing services where you are layering services, right, whether that be bleaching and then toning, or you're layering other color, one on top of the other, if you're doing perms and you want to stop the oxidization, the reason why we tell clients not to shampoo the hair for 2 days, right, is because of the oxidization. So we now have the ability to instantly stop that oxidization process. And so, you know, that is something that also all stylists should be doing this. Again, I'm sure someone's going to be saying, Maria's going to try it with bleach. It'd be such a great experiment, but Daniel talked me out of it yesterday. But yeah, it's absolutely essential for good services to do that. So I hope you enjoyed that. And remember, if you want to go, you could have this. We're sending them out first class post today. You could have this tomorrow. So go to the link and get yours. You can buy more than one as well. If you're locked down with mum, sister, whoever you're locked down with, maybe you've got a boyfriend who's losing his hair. You would start with crystal gel. Daniel's going to come on to that in a minute. Daniel's already been on and bought his. Well done. It's Singles Day. Yeah, true.
It is indeed, yes. Beat yourself.
Okay, so I think that's, I mean, it's not everything for Malibu. The Malibu classes are 2 days. That's just some fun facts with Malibu, making sure that we're all understanding. The presentation, please, Declan. Okay, so now we want to go on to talking a little bit about Euphora. And we wanted to start with the foundation of Euphora, and that is that this product, well, let's see, who can tell me what is the most unique thing? There's lots of unique things, but what is the most unique thing about Euphora? What is the most unique thing? Yeah, there is no water. The base of the product is pharmaceutical grade aloe. So what we're going to do when we're talking about the Euphora today, we're going to focus on the aloe, just to remind us all, but we're also going to focus on some of the really cool and fun science aspect of Euphora. So aloe it's pretty amazing. You know, they often call it nature's miracle, and this product is 80%. It's organic, pharmaceutical grade aloe. Okay, so that's important because like all things, you can get different grades, right? And of course, the better the grade, the more oh gosh, look what's happened. That's the penanganate. That won't come off. That's terrible. I tried so hard as well. I used a tissue. Anyway, let's talk about the aloe. So nature's miracle. Aloe contains 90%, over 90% of the body's amino acids. So our body is made up of amino acids. That's where our DNA chains are built, is through amino acids. And aloe has 90% of the same amino acids as our body, our hair. In fact, aloe naturally has 75 active ingredients in its makeup. Okay, that's why it's called nature's miracle. It's a natural preservative, so it's perfect for us with Euphora, with our natural, less artificial, junk-filled stuff ethos, because it means, because it's a natural preservative, we use less preservatives. We have to have a preservative, otherwise we'd have to put it in the fridge and it'd go off at the end of the week, right? We use food grade preservatives, but we can use less of them, right? So there is less artificial junk filled stuff in Euphora. It's as natural. You should get that off the skin as soon as you can. Well, I can't, can I? I'll put hang on, look. Let's I'll tell you what I'll do. Look, actually, this is a good experiment, everybody. I've just put crystal gel on. There you are. And crystal gel is reversing that. And I'll leave that there for a minute. And we'll come back in a minute. Everyone will think it's part of the trick. We normally do that with an apple. But there you are. I'll leave it on my hands for a minute, Maria. And it will, the crystal gel's already nearly got it off. Can you see that? All right. There you go. She's happier now. So, there you go. So, yes, there you go. You're quite right. Okay, so what else about aloe? Well, it's an antioxidant. It's antiseptic. It contains vitamins A, C, and E, which are good for repairing hair. It contains vitamin B12, which is essential in hair growth. These are the things that it contains naturally. There you are. It's gone. These are things that it contains naturally. Aloe will promote all by itself healthy cell growth. So it will help with the scalp, with the hair growth in the follicle, in the bulb, as it were. Collagen. What else is in there? Aloe also contains and brings oxygen. So many things that we have with aloe that it does all by itself. Now, one of the things to remember, and hairstylists, I know what happens. You tell clients and you go, oh, this product is based in aloe. And they go, oh, I've got an aloe product at home. Well, of course, there's a couple of things for us to remember, and that is that products have to be in quantities big enough to be able to do the job. And the law, cosmetics law, as it stands at the moment, I could put one little drop of aloe inside this bottle and make aloe the biggest word on the front of the bottle. So it's really important that we help our clients to understand is that you have to have the ingredient in high enough quantities to be able to do a very, very good job. Okay, so that's enough about aloe. It does bring me nicely when we talk about aloe therapy, which is this shampoo here is aloe therapy shampoo. I know it's a great favorite amongst many people. Other products in the aloe therapy range. This is one of my favorites. And this is the Soothing Body Moisturizer, which I'm now going to put on because my hands feel a little bit tacky from the crystal gel. There you are, but that will make that go away. Beautiful smell. But what can you tell me about aloe therapy? Something else that makes this product absolutely unique, because we're the only hair products currently that are using this technology. And what is it? What's in this product? You can see it on that fact sheet. Yep, the stem cell technology. Now, let's understand basically what that means. It's where they take the stem cells of the aloe. Okay, so the stem cells of the aloe. Actually, I've got an aloe plant over the other side. I should have brought it over here and broke a bit off. I've got loads of plants here, but not aloe. Look, loads of plants, not aloe. So it's where stem cell technology, it's where they take the stem cells of the aloe and they are able to, through technology, they're able to multiply them. And so in that process, what the technology does is it increases the molecular potency times 1,000. That's what happens. So that hand cream I just put on there, hand cream, what am I saying? Body cream, I put it on my hands. This body cream contains aloe stem cell technology. When I put it on, it's like applying cream 1,000 times. This product here, Moisture Mist, is a moisture spray. Can't do it over my glasses, I won't be able to see, but you can do it over makeup, you do it on skin. When you spray that, it's like spraying 1,000 times. When you shampoo with aloe therapy, the benefit of the aloe, right, which is the antiseptic, antibacterial, vitamins A, C and E, B12, oxygen, all of those things, you're getting those benefits times 1,000. There's the conditioner. It also contains stem cell technology. So whenever you see, not all Euphora products have stem cell technology, some of them wouldn't benefit from it. But when you see products that contain the stem cell technology, you know that the benefits are highly amplified. And that means that those products work very efficiently and very, very quickly. Okay, so aloe is one of them. That contains stem cell technology. Daniel is going to now talk to you about Euphora Hero, which also contains stem cell technology. I think you want the video first. Do you, Daniel?
Yeah, I think it's actually a thickening video, isn't it? Coming up first, and then we go into. So, Deck, if you just want to play the thickening video for us, please. There you are.
make a great story on Instagram or Facebook. I'm going to put it on Feathers later.
That video would be available for you, by the way, if you're going to use it. So, Declan, can you just get the next sort of slide up for me, please? Which is that one, I think.
That one.
That's the one. So, are you covering thickening, the bit that we have seen, or?
No, you're doing hero first.
I'm doing hero first. Okay.
Or do you want me to do thickening first?
Well, I thought you might do thickening first, and then naturally leads into hero. I don't mind.
Well, the video really did thickening, but
yeah.
I guess suffice to say, right, that each of the products has the aloe base, which has got the stem cell technology, which is why when you see the video, you see there it says vitamins A and E, 1,000 times more oxygen to the scalp, etc., etc. And there's the scalp treatment that is able to actually penetrate deep into the bulb and help the hair grow from the beginning. Now, let's do a little test. Who can tell me if you were going to put a client onto this regime, and actually I'm missing the scalp serum here, but if you were going to put this client onto this regime, what's the first thing you would do for her? Let's see who's been paying attention. Yeah, crystal gel. So the first thing you do is a crystal gel, because you would want to take off any mineral buildup, hormonal buildup, because if she's an older lady, I went through a period of time where I had to use this. My hair was thinning terribly, and this stopped it. I'm off it at the moment, but absolutely right. So we've got the aloe, the stem cell technology, and then we've got the pro-amino peptide complex, which is what you can see here, that bar. So 5-alpha reductase it's an enzyme in our hormones. And when that 5-alpha reductase, when it meets testosterone, it creates DHT. And DHT is it's a big baddie in hair loss, particularly more so in men than women. But it does also affect women. And so the pro-amino peptide complex stops the 5-alpha reductase and the testosterone coming together and forming the DHT. So that's what the pro-amino peptide complex does. So that's one of the ways that both thickening and hero work. There's more of it in hero than there is in thickening. So just let me show you a couple of results for thickening. Actually, let me show you this, and then we'll go backwards. So this is a really great tile for your, and again, it's available for your Instagram or Facebook, your social media, for maybe for an email for those of you that do e-blasts. Nobody's asked yet. Nobody's asked yet about the supplements. So in America, hairdressers are allowed to sell supplements. We are not allowed here in the UK. So the supplements are not available here. But what that is, it's a vitamin B complex, right? So you can get a vitamin B complex in a health food shop. Sorry? What did you say, Daniel?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were paused to think, but I think it's a delay.
Okay. So vitamin B complex. So by the way, let's not forget that aloe has, so we know that vitamin B is very good for hair growth, and aloe has vitamin B12 in it. But anyway, that's what that is. So vitamin B complex. So that's how.
Just before you go to the images, Debbie, let me just do hero before we go to the before and afters.
Go on then.
And just highlight some of the sort of facts in terms of hero and thickening. I think one of the things that we often see with gents is, most of the time, but not always, not exclusively, men tend to have shorter hair than women. So when it comes to choosing the right product, certainly for scalp challenges such as hair loss, the challenge we have is that the product sits closer to the scalp, if not on the scalp, versus females, because purely and simply because of length of hair. And one of the strengths with Hero versus other hair loss options in terms of sort of hair loss regimens is that every single product in the family of Hero has the pro-aminopeptide system. And this is a really important fact. So you have it in the shampoo, you have it in the conditioner, in the revitalizing treatments, you have it in the scalp rescue, but you also have it in all of the styling products. So it's important for a couple of reasons. One, it means that the pro-aminopeptide system will sit longer on the hair and work better and do good for a longer period of time. And it also means that the products that you... Actually, let me put it this way. Let me put it slightly differently. If you have a gent that is suffering from hair loss, and if they would go on... If the hair loss option in Hero was shampoo, conditioner, and a scalp spray, but no styling products, what often happen is this: they will use that regimen where there is 1, 2, or 3 products, and then they would style the hair with a product that is far more generic. Don't want to mention a name, but you can pick one from a superstore or pick one from Amazon, you know, a gel or a wax. And the challenge we have there is that they're more often than not is going to have petrochemicals, silicones, and other things that are not good for optimum scalp health. So the strength of Hero is, yes, the technology is fantastic, but the strength is that that technology is in all of the products. The only products you don't have a pro-aminopeptide system in that will help to prevent premature hair loss is the shaving products, for obvious reasons. Trying to do the opposite there. So apart from the post-shave shaving products and the moisturizer, apart from those, it's in all of the products. So your putty, your molding paste, pomade, and all of those products has it. And I think that is a really important factor to remember if you have a gent that is going on this journey, that they stick to the full regimen for the best results. Because otherwise, I always like the reference of, it's like going to the gym and going for Burger King straight after. You're doing something good, but you're going to Burger King and sort of undoing some of the good stuff. And there would be the equivalent of using a specialist product and then whack on, you know, Dax Wax or something like that and think that you're going to do a good thing. So I think that's an important fact to remember when we talk hair loss and the Hero products.
Yeah, really very good. So let's just show you some examples. This actually, I saw Elaine's on here with us live. This is actually a case study that Elaine did. She's one of our hair and scalp practitioner. She's a qualified hair and scalp practitioner. So this was one of hers. She'll come on in a minute and say, yes, it was. Oh, got a question there. Is the thickening scalp spray safe to use in pregnancy? Yes, it is. So maybe Elaine can tell us the timeline here, because it's not clear on our picture and I can't remember. On the case study it was. This we'll also get Elaine to confirm that people can use this on their social media, and I believe they can. So these case studies are actual people that we know. This one here, so that's a guy there. This one here, I can see Elaine typing, it will come through in a second. Okay, this one here is a stylist in America. Her client was a wig wearer, okay? Oh, that was in 2 months. So what we just saw there, that improvement was in 2 months, 8 weeks. So this lady was a wig wearer, okay? And the hairdresser persuaded her to use thickening. You can see after 30 days, she'd got hair growth. After 4 months, and you could see she was even brave enough to get her hair at this point colored, right? This is the best example I've ever seen. I love this. She's so happy. But this one's also quite incredible. This is one of Andrew Bayliss' clients. He's not with us because he's a Welsh salon, and they are all in their Wednesday, their 3rd day back at work. So they are crazy in Wales at the moment. This is the before and after. And if I remember rightly, this was 30 days. So you can see this client had got 2 patches here, one there and one there. Okay. And she'd got growth both here and here after 30 days. Right. Yep. And Elaine just said you can all use the pictures. And I know that Andrew said that people can use these pictures too. They're really quite incredible. So so that's hero and thickening. And by the way, let's remember this. This is not a fun fact, but it is a fact. We'll call it an interesting fact. A side effect of COVID is hair loss and skin problems. So aloe and thickening. Become an expert, guys, at aloe and thickening. You're going to be able to help so many clients. You've got so many clients on the range from just showing my pics. Yeah, thickening is massive. Look, and if you're a stylist on here, a salon owner, and you don't do Euphoria, you don't have to do the whole range. You can do what we call the science pack, right? So that you can take benefit for some of these products that we have that you don't have in whatever range you're currently using. But the results are really quite incredible, as are the results of the next picture I'm going to show you. Okay, this is a before and after. So we can see here cracks in the hair. So this is a cross section of hair under a microscope. This is damage in the hair, these cracks in the cortex. And here you can see the internal structure has been repaired with damage cure complex. Who can tell me what product has the trademarked proprietary ingredient damage cure complex? Who can tell me? Yep, well done, BE. Again, these images are here for you to use on your social media. So absolutely, here you go, the Beautifine Elixirs range, and one of its biggest features is the damage cure complex. By the way, the BE range is not based in aloe. Okay, who can tell me what it's based in? Wait for someone to tell us. Yep, sage and thyme, and that's because of the molecular size. The molecular size of aloe. Sage and thyme has a smaller and lighter molecular size, and that's what allows these products to penetrate deeper into the hair. Okay, so the damage cure complex is what helps to repair the hair. What's quite unbelievable about this, oh, by the way, this is Mrs. Hinch's favourite. So if you ever see pictures of her bathroom, you near enough always see this in the bathroom. Beautifine Elixirs is her product of choice. She loves Elixir One. Now, Elixir One is a wearable. So what's really unbelievable about Beautifine Elixirs, we got this repairing going on. If you're using the leave-in repair treatment and you're using the Elixir One, you are wearing these treatments. So not only are you repairing the hair, but you're protecting the hair from further damage. Now, the other thing that Beautifine Elixirs has, which often gets overlooked, is it has vibrant colour complex. Now, who can tell me what the benefit of vibrant colour complex is? Let's see if anyone can do this. It's incredible. And it goes with what we were learning earlier. Vibrant colour complex. Can anyone tell me? I can't see anyone typing. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Vibrant colour complex slows oxidation and manages oxidation. Now, oxidation comes from oxygen, which is all around us, okay? The oxygen in the air, which is, of course, it's essential for life, okay? We breathe the oxygen. It's how we stay alive. But oxygen, you know, of course, creates oxidation, and oxidation is aging. Tom Porter, who owns Malibu Sea, he says, you're not aging, you're oxidizing, right? And that's Malibu, by the way, started with skincare. Gone back to Malibu. I told you, Daniel and I could make this a week course, right? But anyway, You're not, Malibu skincare is amazing, by the way. But anyway, you're not aging, you're oxidizing. So BE, the Vibrant Color Complex, is a oxidizing management program. In other words, it stops the hair from oxidizing. You're wearing it all the time, stops the hair from oxidizing, and so therefore your color stays vibrant longer, right? And that's what it does. So that's the fun fact with BE, along with the fact that it's Mrs. Hinch's favorite. We've got videos that Mrs. Hinch did. We will be doing those videos again at some point. When we run them, the sales of Beautifying Elixirs on Sound Love goes bananas. The last time that Mrs. Hinch did something in lockdown with it was Elixir One, wasn't it, Daniel?
It was Leave-In Repair, actually, if you remember right.
Leave-In Repair.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 2,000 followers on Instagram within 30 minutes. 30 minutes. No, that's not right, is it? 30 hours. Sorry, within 30 hours, we had 2,000 followers on Instagram. Anyway, so, you know, if you're going to do this on your social media, then by all means use that Mrs. Hinch video. We've got it, okay? Will this work with vivid colours, prolonging colour? Absolutely. So with your vivids, yes, you would, you'd make sure that you use your deox, and then yes, this will prolong vivid colours, any colour, okay? That's what it will do. So we've got another offer for everybody, haven't we, Daniel?
Yes, we do. So again, for you guys to, if you haven't tried the BE and had experienced yourself, we're going to do the power up, and I wish I was organized.
Oh, wait, I've got it.
You got one? I thought you might. So it's the Elixir One, regular size, yeah, and the replenishment treatment that comes in. So not the tub, it's the tube. Both of those products in the box, as you can see, they'll be showing you. There's going to be £24. It's including shipping. Again,
and
it's going
VAT includes VAT.
And VAT, sorry, yes. So £24 all in. On the same link as the Malibu makeover, and again, we are going to run that for as long as we are in lockdown. So you can purchase it today by all means, but we're going to have it up there until we either run out of product, which we most likely won't do, but until we're open again on the 3rd. So take it down on this December the 2nd.
Okay, so with that last piece of information there, that's our, honestly, we could have spent 2 days with fun facts. It was so hard for us. Sharon said it's like Dagenham Market. Yeah, roll up, come on ladies, bargain of the day. We could have shared so much. It was so hard to know what to share. We really hope that you've got some fun facts out of that. Daniel's got on Friday ready for you the campaign webinar. So tune in for that, because he's got some great ideas. And
well, anyone who's going to be there on Friday, let me just give you a heads up. We are going to do a campaign together. So after the webinar, you will have a campaign ready to go. So if you don't have a campaign planned, or if you have one but you want another one, it was always good to have 2 running, in my humble opinion. Even if you have an idea, come along to the webinar and you can implement that particular campaign that's in your mind at this moment in time. So you get something tangible and something you can take off and run with as soon as we're done on Friday.
Now, one thing that I really hope that you've taken from this, everybody, is that go and read the fact sheets, right? Write stuff down, you know, add to your knowledge all the time. Make yourself like, I was going to say look like a professional. No, make yourself professional. You can do that. You can improve. Every hairdresser can improve by improving your knowledge and your dialogue and the value you bring to a client. And even if the client walks away and doesn't buy the product, don't worry about it at that moment. She's going to be thinking about it. She's going to be thinking about what you said. If you're sharing the stuff on your social media, sending it out in emails, etc., you're going to be able to increase those sales. So have a great day, everybody. We look forward to seeing you on Friday. Passion for Hair is open. If you need us, you know where we are. Anything you need, you just reach out. Keep supporting each other. Passion for Hairstylist hotline, and education. P4H leadership. Keep on there, guys. Stick together. We need each other. It's a shit show, and but hey ho, we're going to make the best of it that we possibly can. So it's good night from me.
Thank you very much, guys, and see you on Friday.
Swedish.
Huh? Oh, what were you going to do?
No, it's a comedy thing.
Oh, it wasn't funny.
The two Ronnies. Well, it was to
Oh, okay then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. See you later.